So I unplugged it and I plugged it back in. Welcome to the DORKLAIR Collecting live stream. Today we have a special guest with us, Nikki Nikole, Nikki Chaney of Nikki Nikole Customs. How you doing today?
Hi, everyone. Good. I'm doing great.
And
Almost
we're gonna
Friday.
talk. Yeah, I know. And we're going to talk about your art in just a few minutes. Larry, what's going on?
Another great week. I hope everyone's doing well. We'll get into this deeper later, but we always talk about our pickups, and I had a huge pile of loot come. So rather than get into all that, I'm just going to kind of hit the high notes. I added to my Hulk collectible shelf. We have from the early '80s Ichiban Hulk Hogan with '70s sunglasses and everything. Really cool. Cool figure. They've done so many of him, they're really having to stretch. And I'm going to continue my praise for the Transformers for their retail line. I got the Origins Wheeljack, and the way that they got this figure. So this is the Origins Jazz. You can see how much everything is scaled just like it was in the show. Now, when you transform these figures are the same size. So the engineering that went into this was just really cool. Yeah. So we now have all three of those Cybertronian forms from that first episode. Just really, really cool to see what they're doing. A couple other cool things. The MDLX line continues to be a winner. Got the first of the Seekers, and this is a big boy. If you guys have not picked anything up, if you're a Starscream fan, can't recommend that highly enough. The G2 Megatron.
Chris's Megatron.
Yeah, this is absolutely probably the best use of this mold. They've done a couple of different chess pieces for Megatron because they did the standard release, they did an animated release, they did a comics release, which was very limited edition. I didn't get to pick that up. And then they've done G2. And then, we talk about at the end of the year, we talk about our biggest disappointment of the year. I think with these piles of loot, I'm going to start doing my disappointment of the month. This is it. So I'll tell you guys, any Mafex collectors out there, if you have the RoboCop, if you have 87, 74, 67, 92, or 196, do not sell them to pick up 225 or 226. I don't know if you can see how much purple is in this thing. This thing is more purple and pink. This thing belongs in a Victoria's Secret pink section. This does not belong in a collection. They went crazy with the purple wash. It's absolutely terrible. It's not worth a little bit of extra.
Do you have all those other RoboCops?
No, I don't. That's why I got this, because I wanted one just like really nice RoboCop. And the thing with Mafex is, or Mafex, however you're supposed to say it, whenever they've redone a figure that they've done previously, the latest edition is always an improvement. It always is. Like, you remember how their early Star Wars stuff was just, if you looked at it, it would fall apart. So when I saw this advertised, and you can see on the advertising art, it's all gray and silver, just like it was in the movie. So that's what I thought I was getting. When I opened this thing and got it out of the big packer, I've not opened it yet.
Show it again. Show it again. The front. Let's see if we can see that purple.
See all that purple?
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of glare here protecting you from it. It's much worse in real life. And clearly the solicitation photos were nothing like that. I've never written to Big Bad and asked anything about a store credit or anything. I wrote them an email. I was like, guys, this is horrible. I know you didn't make it, but if they say yes, yes. If they say no, I'll sit on it and I'll sell it on eBay in 6 months and at least get what I spent on it. But do not waste your money. This is it's bad,
like Mando's gun all over again. The pink. Remember the pink gun?
It's just bad. It looks like, I don't know, you know how in the comics in the 80s they would use blue and black hair for that, and that it's like that kind of thing, but it's no good. And then, but the king bad daddy of the whole thing we'll be talking about later, the Missing Link Optimus Prime. So it was a pretty good week. Got some cool stuff. I had a few other things, but these were really the highlights. And so all those are great. The Missing Link is a definite get. The RoboCop is avoid like herpes. You don't want anything to do with it. It's just awful.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Nikki, how about
what were your pickups, Nikki?
It's been a slow couple months. I am kind of waiting for Yojo June. So I think last month or the month before, I picked up some of the interim Valaverse figures. It was like a bit, I think it was a between series. I can't keep track of his different series, but I did get a few Valkyrie figures, which are behind me.
Yep.
I actually do a couple just like Kit Bashy customs. So I put this guy together with Condor's vest and just repainted a Steel Brigade helm.
Let me pull you over here. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. So just did a little bit of Kit Bashy stuff while I was waiting. And then, of course, I got Savage Crucible figures this month. And I did a little bit of kit bashing with that too. So this is one of the character packs with
Sentry.
the Sentry that Eric painted. And then Renato picked me up this guy.
Oh, nice.
Which,
That's cool.
it's very hard to find things at the Targets and retail shops around here. So this was awesome for him to grab me. This guy did get the Feral Predator before him. When this movie first came out, I wasn't a huge fan of the design, but I watched the movie again a year later. I had a little bit more of an open mind. And I really did like the movie once I saw it that second time.
Is that the one from Prey? Is that what that is?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Feral Predator. And the nice thing about this figure is that it has much smoother articulation, much better plastic, much better articulation, more range of movement than almost, I think, any of the previous Predators that NECA's put out. So really, really cool figure. I still haven't gotten out and taken some photos of him yet, but hopefully soon.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about that Feral Predator. And then
really smooth.
Curtis says, I did see Mafex teased a Rogue going up for sale this month. She was my second most wanted X-Man from Mafex after Nightcrawler. And thank you, Curtis, for the $5 super chat.
Is that Rogue going to be a continuation of the kind of the Jim Lee style that they've been doing?
Good question.
I mean, that would
Knowing
be my
Curtis,
guess.
I would bet yes.
Yeah, I'm sure it probably is.
So for me, let's see. Let me pull myself over here. And I'm actually only...
Okay.
So I also got... Larry talked me into this one. I wasn't going to get it. I also got this Missing Link Optimus Prime, and it is so cool. It is like... It's like the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that old school feel, and it feels very much like it's got the die cast pieces, it's got the rubber wheels. It's like, it just has that like feel, but then it's got new engineering. It's smooth as heck, amazing, like just, not amazing articulation, but like advanced articulation compared to like a G1 original. But yeah, this is very cool. It's just a neat concept. And we'll kind of go over that a little bit more after. And then and we'll talk about these a little bit more after too, but I also got my Cosmic Legions Outpost Zaxius all-in wave. I've only opened 2. Well, I've opened 3. One of them I opened just to part swap, and that's these limbs here. So I haven't really explored the Sphexian Minor yet, even though I opened it. But I got these two. Open and played around with them so far. My next review, and what I'm working on next is Kalian, because that was my second favorite from the wave. And I also got this is like just hit today. So I haven't opened it. It's over there in a box. But the Dramatic Capture series, right? Like it's like it's Megatron, Soundwave, and Shockwave. G1 style, like all in one set in like a deluxe kind of like.
The Bridge Crew set.
Yeah, the Bridge Crew set.
Yeah.
Yep. So that one showed up today. I just haven't had a chance to open it.
Now that's the Soundwave mold from the old Netflix figure that you can only get at Walmart. Yeah. That's good. That's great.
That's the main reason I got it. I actually don't have a Megatron yet, so this will be my first Megatron and my first Shockwave, but I wasn't like super like, oh god, I gotta get that specific Megatron, because I know they'll do another one or whatever, but I really wanted that specific Soundwave.
Megatron is okay. The Shockwave is pretty great.
Okay, good. That's good to hear. And then we got Blake over here. Happy Friday's Eve. to you all.
I like that.
Friday's Eve. It's always great to see Bill and Larry. Welcome to the DORKLAIR, Nikki, and nice work with the Savage Crucible line.
Thank you.
Let's check in with the chat. Let me stop being the center of attention here. And let's see who else is in the chat. So we had Blake, we had Curtis, we got Paul, Charlie, Cloud, Joe Gonzalez, Rob Zamora. Who else we got here? Steve Wagling, Kevin McCoy, Dave Orkin. Dave, you know what's coming up. It's right here. I'll show it after. Oh, I missed this one. Joe did 10 DORKLAIR memberships. His classic move. Thank you so much, Joe. Let's see who else here. KJ, Braku, Josh Brown. No chewing. Speaking of Braku, Larry, we got to get that picture. We got to get him that.
Oh, yeah,
picture.
I do. I've dragged my feet. I'll get that taken care of.
Charlie
Berg says he bought his first Mythic new watcher. So I'm not that far ahead of him.
Oh,
sorry.
Welcome, Charlie. Yeah. Jeremy Govier, Noah Pratt, and we got some Purple Gang members in here, so they might have been a little offended about dissing the Purple RoboCop, because I feel like, as goofy as that is, the Purple Gang would probably embrace that.
It might take it out of your hands, Larry.
If you want it for cost, I'll send it to you.
There you go. KJ, I think, Michael Carter. Let's see here. Christopher Bouchard. Is that a new name? I feel like I haven't seen that name before. Mr. X, Seb Leduc, Rabbit's Den. I Am Batman. And Laura, who gave that recommendation to unplug it and plug it back in. What happened at the start of the show, we hit go live, and a little message popped up, and it said, traffic is high. Try again in 30 seconds. So, I was like, what? Yeah. I'd never seen that before. Mark R, Carver Customs, Eric. Did we say Wesley? Steve with a V. Jeff Evans, Hank. All right. And David Williams. Sneak peek. Oh. People are like, what is he talking about? We'll get to it. You check your TCP IP settings. I didn't. I waited 30 seconds and tried again. All right, here we go. Here's a question for Nikki. Any Savage amphibian paint jobs coming up? Is that something you can talk about?
No.
I mean, you've already done some, right? Like those fish people are kind of.
Oh, the fish people are amphibious. They're not amphibians, but those guys are in wave 3. Out of all the waves, I'm most excited for wave 3. So that's coming up. Nothing I can talk about right now. But yes, I do have some amphibians in the works that are not Savage Crucible. Just on my own.
And why don't we start? Let's pull up your IG here.
Yes.
Nikki Nikole _customs for those who want to go give a follow. And you do custom action figures. You do like commission work sometimes, right? You do.
I used to, but not so much anymore. It's just a little hard to keep up with that these days. But
you're doing professional paint work for multiple action figure lines, and just prolific work going on here.
Yes.
So let's start right here. So you're doing some Fresh Monkey fiction stuff.
Yes. So that's something that's come up a little more recently. Their Naughty or Nice line. They have several lines going. And they do have a fan group on Facebook if you want to learn more about that or keep up with that. But this is for the Naughty or Nice line, which is their holiday line. And they showed basically 4 reindeer of different colors, and they have a head pack. So when you purchase the head pack, you can make all 9 reindeer. So
Yep.
this was a really fun project. If for those that have known me for a while, I like to paint a lot of the same things in different colors, because just painting something in a different color just gives it a whole different vibe. And so this was a really fun project, painting these guys. And it was a great project.
The people who go all in and like do all the versions of the reindeer, and then ultimately, they're probably going to do a sleigh. Like, those people are going to have the sickest Christmas setup at their house. And like, family is going to come over at Christmas that doesn't like action figures, and they're going to be like, "Whoa, look at that!"
Yes, my mom definitely pre-ordered a couple of those reindeer because she loves reindeer.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what else we got here. So this was your this one in the middle here. That was your pop and swap video, right?
Yes. Yep. Just showing some pop and swap. A little different than Mythic Legions, but I think my last video, it's been forever since I've done a video. My last video that I did was disarticulating a Mythic Legions horse, because I was doing a ton of
that's right
at that time. Yeah, so it was this was the next one that I did, and that's
I remember
just
that
Savage Crucible figure.
There's another look at the which one is this?
Ooh, Prancer.
Oh wait, no, this is Dear Vixen.
Yeah. Prancer, and then if you get the alternate head, you can make Vixen.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. There you go. Vixen is the one with the dark spots. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You worked on Galactic Valor, right?
Yes. Yeah, that was another really fun line. I really liked his designs. It kind of blended some more drab military colors with the sci-fi element. So I just really liked the combo of that. Obviously, one of the characters, or one of the races rather, looks very reptilian. So that was kind of right in my wheelhouse. But this was a lot of fun, just working with James and helping to develop some of the colors for that.
Yeah.
Really, really fun. And it was funded, which is great.
Yeah, and it was kind of down to the wire, that one.
Yeah, I have never seen a Kickstarter, the standard pattern of Kickstarters, they always plateau and then they spike at the end. I'd never seen that long of a plateau and then such a dramatic spike at the end. So we were all pretty stressed there at the very end.
Here's a head you painted.
Yeah, so that's one from Planetary Dog Toys. Some of you might know he's working on going through every month and retiring some of the sculpts. And so I've been posting a lot of my old stuff from the pieces that I've painted over the years. Most of the stuff that I painted from him was in 2020. So it's always, it is kind of a tricky thing because as you go on and you improve as an artist, it can be I can feel a little self-conscious posting some old work because I'm like, oh, I wasn't so good back then, Right. So there's always a little bit of that element, but I do want to, just show what I've done and help him advertise a bit for his retirement, because this is the last chance people are going to get at these.
So is he doing like last call, this dwarf head, and then people have like one last shot to buy it, or is he just like selling through the last stock of it? Or
nope, they have he'll put it up for like, let's say the month of May, he'll have like 10 sculpts that he's going to retire at the end of May. Yep. And if you buy those particular sculpts that month, they're discounted, but you also get a chance at this really cool Cosmic Legions dwarf set that he has. I think it's just upper body stuff, but really, really cool piece. And that's the only way to get it. So kind of just a fun bonus with that.
Is this one you painted right here? Or did you paint all of them?
I did not paint all of them. I painted about half of them. Yeah. Okay. So that is not one, but that one's really cool. He gave me a crack at naming the race and the character. And so that's the Hyperion Tracer. And when I saw the sculpt, it reminded me of a combination between an armadillo and like a roly-poly bug. And so I looked up some names in different languages, and his race name is a play on the name for a Portuguese name for armadillo.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And that's the exclusive, huh?
Yeah, that was the Kickstarter exclusive.
Yeah. What else we got here?
And then there's random Plunderlings photos. When I go to Hawaii, I bring my Plunderlings and take pictures of them.
I was going to say, Robo would dig this page. There are a lot of Plunderlings there. I was noticing that.
They just photo so well in Hawaii.
They're ridiculously cute. Like whoever came up with, I don't know how they came up with those, but they're just really cool looking little figures.
Yeah, and just really photogenic. Like they're just so fun to take pictures of.
They have a lot of character.
They really do.
So Valaverse figure?
Yeah, this is just
a
kit bash that I did of Pandora. Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at these.
Oh yeah, these are. So I think it was 2 years ago. I made a bunch of Motu inspired customs for PowerCon. I think it was PowerCon 22. Yeah. And these were a couple of those pieces sculpted by Jason Rodriguez and printed by Noble Bear.
Nice. That's really cool.
It's got kind of a South American feel to it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I like that. That's cool.
And then this one here.
She used the Screech and the Zor colors. That's really, really cool. I like that.
Yeah, this was a really fun project. And just something different. I had done some characters like Merman and stuff like that, but I just kind of wanted to try something different.
That's really cool. What's this one based on?
Yeah, this is not really based on anything. This is a set that had Jason Rodriguez sculpt. The set is called Sons of Quetzalcoatl, and I did it in normal colors, what you would typically see in Aztec artwork and things like that. And then this one, I'm just doing freestyle. Haven't finished this character yet. It's taken me forever, but someday I'll get to it and someday I'll finish it.
List out like what are all of the companies you've done professional work for?
So far, Savage Crucible, Fresh Monkey Fiction, and Fox Forge Toys, which did the Galactic Valor line.
Nice. And then whose sculpt is this?
That is
Prop Master Store.
Prop Master Store, thank you. Really different than what I normally do, but I really like the design. It's very marine. So yeah, I got about 12 of those prints, and this was just the first one that I did. Just really, really freestyle with that.
That's cool. I could see that on a cosmic, like an alien head.
Yeah.
What do we got here?
So this is a very random project. So there was a misprint of this Mayfek dwarf head, and it had basically a crater in his head. And I was doing that project. You showed it earlier where I had all these crystal skulls, and I added all these crystals and did them. I did them all in different colors, and I had this misprint head, and I didn't know what to do with, so I added crystals to it.
I love it.
Pretty inventive.
Where are those skulls? Are they further up?
Yeah, there you go.
There they are.
That's crazy.
So basically, on that sculpt, half of the it's missing half of its skull, and so I added the crystals, and that was inspired by a custom that I saw at Legions Con 22, I believe, and Jerome Oberon had this awesome skeleton custom with all these crystals growing out of it, and I really tried my best to buy that off of him, but I guess he had already sold it, and so I'd been thinking about it for years, and finally Made a couple of these skulls, and I sold a couple. I'm going to keep a couple and then just finish out the full custom figure.
You're going to do crystals on the body and stuff too?
I think so. Eventually. Who knows how long that'll take me to get around to.
So how about what are some of the things you collect? Obviously G.I. Joe and Action Force. What else do you collect?
Yeah. With the G.I. Joe, it's only nostalgia driven. So really only the stuff that either I had as a kid, my brother had, or that I knew about when I was a kid and I wanted. So that's the limit of my collection, which means I've only gotten about probably less than a third of what the classified line has put out. And I still feel like my shelves are pretty full with just that, which is crazy.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
it is a lot of stuff.
It is a lot. I was talking about my limitations last week, and they're similar to yours, but I think I'm probably older than you. So unfortunately, I had more and remember more. So that means I purchased more. But as the line and the waves go on, there are more and more that I find, okay, this was way later in the line. I didn't have this. I didn't want this. I'm passing on it. So very, very similar attitude here.
Yeah, and that's saving me in my shelves. Thankfully.
Yeah.
A little bit of Action Force. So Action Force is really hero heavy, which is good for like filling out Steel Brigade and that kind of thing. And some of the desert troops. And that line is just really fun to part swap for me. Then I collect my TMNT collection. I feel is pretty much finished. I have some nice
Mezco mostly.
It's actually no. It's mostly well, yeah, I guess so. I have the NECA movie turtles. I have the Reveltech 2012 turtles, which that's my favorite iteration. I have NECA Mirage, and then the SHF cartoon turtles.
Yep.
And then a few Super 7 figures, just as that nice homage for the old toys. Feel like I'm pretty done. If NECA ever dips their toes into IDW stuff, then I will get more, but I'm pretty much complete right now. I have Predator, Plunderlings, Mythic Legions, obviously. And I think that is it. I used to collect a lot more, and I got rid of a lot of stuff in the last 5 years.
Yeah. Are you collecting Cosmic Legions or no?
I am not, no. I do have a little bit of Star Wars Black Series again. I think I completed that like very thin slice of Clone Wars stuff. So between Predator and Star Wars, that kind of fills my sci-fi need.
Yeah. This was your wants, right? Your most
yes.
wanted Joes.
Yeah, I posted 9 most wanted Joes and 9 most wanted Cobras, and my rule for that list creation was anything that hasn't been announced yet of what they are making.
It's a good list.
Yeah, I saw those lists, and I'm on board with pretty much all of those. Now, there was one, Bill, you just keep scrolling through because there was one. I know that's Shipwreck from the IDW, Iceberg, Lifeline. Who was this? I was not familiar with him. This is
Stretcher. So he did come later in the line. And he was the third, I believe the third medic that they had made. And this was one that I picked up. Oh, my dog just ran in the room. Sorry about that. Hey, bub. Third medic. I didn't personally have any of the medics, so this was my medic that I picked up.
Okay. And then the next few, and then okay. I see now I didn't look at the actual text. All I saw was the pictures. I was going to ask if that last one more over, Bill, was because I know they did a deep 6 figure without the shark, and I thought that's what that was.
Yes.
I wasn't sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And much more
not a brick.
Under. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a brick. Exactly.
Wait, so did you do a Cobra one? Where is
I did
one. It's further up the page.
Yeah. So definitely armored Cobra Commander. He's probably my top want right now.
I want an alternate Fred head with that.
See, I never followed the comic, so I didn't get that. Yeah, I just did
either a Fred head or a Cobra Commander head. The glasses with the whole mustache deal. I'd take either one of those.
Yeah.
Now,
I just did the toys and the original cartoon.
The third one over, that's later in the line. Who is that one?
Yeah, that is Cesspool.
Okay.
I don't remember if the original figure had a helmet or not. I never fully committed to him because I didn't at least have the helmet for him, but I found this piece of artwork. I'm like, okay, if they make a really cool helmet for him, I could be on board with this.
I don't think they did because I had a set of the trading cards, and I remember his card and it was his face. It was not a helmet. He was all scarred up, and because it was like the toxic waste era. So that's what I thought. And we've got Nemesis Immortal coming, so I would guess that Pythona is going to be coming.
Yeah, I would assume that he'd be the next figure announced for the movie stuff, the Cobra Law stuff.
Yeah.
And, especially since she wasn't a part of the original
Yeah.
run at that time when the movie came out.
And since they've done Kamakura and who's the other green one they did? They've done 2 obscure ninjas. I'm guessing both Slice and Dice will be coming as well soon.
Oh yeah. But definitely like Hydra Viper, definitely had him, and Night Viper. I'm surprised they haven't done Night Viper yet.
Is this just the regular Range Viper? Or is this a different Range Viper? Because there's a Range Viper out.
Yeah, there's so far they have the regular Range Viper out, and then the 788 Fire Team for the Hiss,
Right.
the recolored that. This is Skullbuster. Again, I'm not familiar with the comics, but I just really like the artwork and colors, and I think he's more of an individual character.
And while I had all this up, I missed some super chats, so I want to go through some super chats here. I'm just checking in with the chats. We got Rob Zamora. Nikki,
Hello.
is Black Cat available?
No.
My all-time Nikki want was the Nightmare from Magic the Gathering. I think it's what's the artist's name? Benson, Melissa Benson, maybe. But yeah, like that was, oh man, that hit home for me. That was a want. But that was a commission, right?
Yeah, that was definitely commission.
And then we got Kevin Boots. Hello to the DORKLAIR and Queen Nikki.
Hi, Kevin.
And Curtis swinging back around with another 5. Thing that confused me about the reindeer was the Q1 2025 estimate. It seems like you'd want to get it out before the end of 2024 or push it to Q3 2025. Yeah, I mean, maybe they're just tempering expectations because every time they tried to have it released right at Christmas, it got delayed till like January or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Those
and
first 2 waves.
Yeah, they work really far in advance, which, it works for some people and doesn't work for others. But they try to be really transparent with their funding model. They do kind of like a crowdfund type of situation through Big Bad Toy Store. So you can kind of see the order count, and it has to hit a certain order number for them to get made. And luckily the reindeer did hit that order count.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be tough on them too when those first couple waves where they really wanted to get them out by Christmas and they just didn't.
Yep.
They just didn't, and then maybe they're just trying to. And then like it's a whole year essentially. If you're like, okay, let's push it from Q1 to Q3 or whatever, Q4, it's a long time.
Yeah, holiday figures are tricky.
Yeah,
with deadlines.
Sure. Mm-hmm. And then we got Hedgehog, 12-month member.
Awesome.
I can't remember when we started. It must have been right around a year.
Must have been right around that time. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And then let's check in with the chat a little bit more. Let's see here. Hello, fellow denizens. I am happy to see you.
Hello.
All right. So it was May. I think Kevin's saying that it was indeed May where the memberships began. I wish that like StreamYard captured there's like little icons that tell how long you've been a member for, that you really only see them when you're in the chat on YouTube, and StreamYard only just shows this little emblem here, I guess it's a super chat emblem or something, or I'm not sure. But yeah, okay. So let's thank you for sharing, Nikki. Let's get into some news here. Let me pull this up. So this came, I mean, it didn't come out of nowhere. Like they kept saying this is shipping soon, but like the turnaround of them saying this is on the boat to like this is out the door it was like super fast. They didn't say like it's arrived and we're gonna start shipping. They just like waited until they had like, I don't know, I think they said like 20 pallets or some number of pallets like out the door, and then they announced it and people had already started getting like tracking. I mean, I got my tracking. I got it. I want to say, what was the day of the week? I want to say I got it like Thursday, and then Friday it was here or something like that. It was like less than 24 hours from realizing that this was even shipping to having it in my hands. It is just the all-ins. So right now they're working their way through and they're getting the all-ins shipped out. And then also the Scourge, just the single Scourges. So anybody who ordered only Scourge is getting theirs, and then they have the Scourges there, get ready for the other orders. And then the rest of the stuff is on the next, truck or, container or whatever. So this will be still shipping for a little while, and it'll take up a little bit of time. But at least we had that experience, which lately hasn't been happening every time, where you order the all in and you get it first. It's always fun to like have that come through, even though it doesn't happen every time. And let's see, Bill, your Red Jet Miner mashup is amazing. Just have to say that yet again. Yeah, let me show it again here. Let me remove that. And I'll just show the couple. So, yeah, so this is, I mean, the day that these were revealed, like once the whole wave was revealed and I kind of got to see everything there, I knew immediately that I wanted to put those armored black arms and legs on with the red. And you never know, like sometimes they ship and there's some other little colors, like there could be like a little purple in there or something, but this really is just black and gray, so it's perfect for this combo. And I think it's now one of my favorite, Cosmic Legions figures. I don't think anything's going to beat Slog for a while, but yeah, that is cool. And just that red on here, once you get it in hand and you see it in person, it's such an awesome color. And the other
So Bill, did he originally come with the red cloth limbs?
Yep.
Okay.
And they're kind of dirtied up. They're like red. They're red with like a little bit of a black wash, and then they have the pinstripe on the side that's painted a little bit of a brighter red, too. And so I've seen like Dennis did. He put those on Vorgus, and it looked really cool.
Oh,
so
cool.
That was a pretty neat swap there. But I have a couple more of the red jets coming. And I plan to have a couple different configurations, including just the straight up regular red. And then this one, Kalian, is awesome. Let me just move my light over here if I can. Just to get a little light on there. This figure came out great. I love the color. I really love the reds, the sort of brick red of the cloth goods on this. Really nice. I do wish that the hood had a little more room, because when you put the hood up, I don't know, it's not quite doing it for me. Like, it's hard to get the hood to sit, for me, at least for the way I like it, to get it to sit right. I got to fuss with it a little bit more, but there's just like a little, not quite enough room for me, for my own setup. That
it looks like it needs to come down a little further.
Yeah, and just like come down in the front a little bit more.
And be able to fold and lay.
Billow out to the side a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like lay flat a little bit. Part of that is like it's got a deep Velcro right here that kind of like captures a lot of that space. And I think it's supposed to come up over the mouth, but it doesn't really have enough distance there to do it. Like, I think this piece is supposed to kind of allow the head to tuck under a bit. But that's a minor complaint compared to like just how nice this.
It's a nice cape.
This cape is really cool. There's some nice little stitching details in there, and you got the two-tone. And then I mean, just the colors on this. The greens, sort of earthy. I feel like lately we've been seeing a lot of like a little more earthy colors with some of these recent Legions, like rich earthy colors, and I really like this.
It feels like a lot of these 112 scale lines, regardless of if it's some of the Mathek stuff I've gotten, the recent Mythic Legion stuff that I have, whatever line it is, it's like now they're starting to push each other. Like for years, they pushed each other on sculpt and articulation, and now they're pushing each other on soft goods because it feels like every time something new comes out, they've upped the game just a little bit more. I used to hate soft goods for anything smaller than 6 scale, but now they just look fantastic.
Is Nikki going to be at Legions Con?
So I've been saying for about a year and a half or 2 years, unfortunately, due to some family stuff, I cannot plan ahead. And so that is not conducive to Legions Con, unfortunately. So spontaneity right now is the name of the game for me. I recently just committed to doing the Comic Palooza in Houston. It'll be my very first time going to Texas. So I'm going to be there. And beyond that, again, I'm going to have to just wait until I'm very close to the date before I can say yes to something. And it would just be either going as an attendee or at the Savage Crucible table. But I just can't, like, before with Legions Con and everything, I would spend all year painting parts, getting ready to sell things. And it was a lot of fun. But I'm not in a place where I can do that right now.
Yeah. Well, we hope to see you there. And if not, we will miss you. So when is that Comic Palooza?
That is next weekend, the weekend of May 24th.
So Memorial Day weekend, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. Cool. I can't believe that's next week. It's like May is like
Years
gone.
gone by.
I know it's only
Yeah.
mid-May, but like it's already gone. It's a great time of year as a teacher because I'm starting to look to, I see June on the calendar.
Yeah, it's almost
like,
June.
But it's also very busy. Let's see here. All right, let me move on to the next thing here. Yep. Okay. Shout outs to the super chats from last week, and again, I'm having trouble pulling everything, so there might have been more last week. It's only showing me like 6, and it's not showing me the other one, so I gotta see if I can figure out what's going on there. I was able to update this, and it was up to 111. Remember last week or 2 weeks ago it was 100, so that's still moving forward. So thank you everyone. It's like tiny writing, if hopefully you can see your name in there, but thanks again for being members of the channel and supporting. Very much appreciated. And I hope David Williams and Dave Orkin are still here because I got a new t-shirt. So David Williams was tasked with designing a new graphic for a DORKLAIR t-shirt, and Dave Orkin was tasked with making me some shirts. So here it is. The new DORKLAIR t-shirt right here, everybody.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, there they are. David Williams and Dave Orkin. People who make it possible for me to have t-shirts. Because otherwise it would not be possible. So yeah, there it is. I'm actually wearing it. I was teasing it. So I got the shirt on right here.
Sweet.
Very cool.
I had him do it, pretty big. I like the nice big graphic on there. And, David just did an incredible job. I just said, can you try to make me a DORKLAIR logo where it says DORKLAIR and it's like a dungeon map? And it was like, he came up with this and it's just like, he yanked it like right out of my head. It was just like absolutely perfect. And then, of course, hit up Dave Orkin for the shirts, and they came out great. It feels like a really nice shirt, and I'm very happy with it. So
Yeah, really, really cool.
Very cool.
Larry, you see any references on here that might be the three of us?
Yeah, you showed me this graphic we were chatting a couple of weeks ago. Let me blow this up and see if I can. I remember. Okay, so there's my War Duke. There's your B for your buzz off and your different B stuff. And we decided one of these was for Chris, and I couldn't remember what it was.
We can't find it. We can't find Chris. Where is he?
Yeah, we're gonna have to have some help.
Yeah, maybe we need a little magnifying glass to try to find Chris.
Got it. Okay. But yeah, I love the War Duke head. That's so cool.
Yeah, yeah, that was totally um, David's idea was to throw in these little nods to the three of us, which is awesome. And
It's
much
funny
appreciated.
because it's all things that, of course, I never shut up about War Duke, and you're the different things that you've done with the different bees and all the different buzz offs. I think it's just cool that he paid that kind of attention and found those little pieces of our personality that keep coming to the surface.
Yeah, yeah, our little obsessions.
Yep.
Rob Zamora says, "Hey Utah, give me two." All right.
Deep
Um,
cut.
I am, I am, yes, I am selling the shirts. If you're interested in buying a shirt, I don't really, I don't have like a website or anything. So if you're interested, so first thing, I have already allocated. They made 50, and that's funny that Steph hasn't even seen it yet. He she didn't even see it. That's hilarious. Um, that's funny. Okay. Anyway, so um, he made 50, and I've already allocated 20 to like friends. So there may be some sizes that sell out, and I don't have, so it goes from small to double XL, and like the double XLs are almost gone. So if you're a double XL, you might have to wait for me to do like a second run of these. Um, but there's plenty of like mediums and larges, should be enough XLs. There's a few smalls. But just send me an email at podcast@dorklair.com if you're interested. It's probably going to not be till next week that I ship because I got a bunch of stuff with my daughter this weekend. Just like a lot of like performing arts events and things like that going on, and some family coming over. So like it's probably going to be next weekend. I'm also going to be at Shop the Curiosity, and I'll have some shirts there if anybody's interested. And I'll be bringing a couple for like the horsemen. Um, but yeah, if you see me at Shop the Curiosity, hit me up because I'll have them like in the trunk of my car or whatever. But otherwise, just email me and let me know. But we are going to give one away tonight. Okay. And again, it's probably not going to ship till next week, but we're going to give one away tonight. So let's do that now. I got to pull up the giveaway tool. So, giveaway tool. Okay. I got that spelled correctly, I think. Yep. And then banners. All right. So if you want to win a shirt, and then, of course, in addition to the address, if you win this and you email me after, in addition to the address, please include your shirt size from small up to 2XL. Okay. I mean, if you don't, I'll just respond and say, what's your shirt size anyway. But all right, so enter. It's David Williams in the chat. It's David Williams for a chance to win a DORKLAIR t-shirt designed by David Williams. Okay. It's David Williams. Put that in the chat, and then we'll start some news, and then we'll come back to the giveaway. And yeah, I love my new shirt. Thank you again, David. Like, seriously, this is the best. It's so good. I love it so much.
It is really cool.
Trunk sale. Yeah, exactly. I'm that guy. I'm that guy who's going to not do a table. I'm going to go to a show and sell some stuff.
We'll have a demo CD in there too.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So those are starting to flow in. And yeah, the entries are starting to hit. We got 100 people. And let's do some news. All right. I did want to shout this out. So Jesse was a guest on the show a few months back, and Jesse Stasio. And Toy Pizza Con is now Toy Pizza Expo, and that is coming up. We're trying to get Jesse on the show to come back on and talk about it. It's a very big event, and I'm gonna pull the banner down for 1 second, just to show everything here. Pull the comment. But yeah, so it's at the Yard in Beacon, New York, And it's obviously going to be like toys, right? It's an art show, but there's going to be toys, there's going to be glyos, but there's also going to be like performances, and so there's going to be some live stuff going on. Jesse's a performer, I'm sure he'll be performing there as well. So if you're in that area, definitely check it out. It's sort of like Toy Pizza Con blowed up to a new format, Toy Pizza Expo. So I just want to shout it out, and trying to get Jesse on so that he can actually do it justice in description. But our schedules are kind of clashing, so hopefully he can make it on at some point. And then we got the dinosaur battlefield Ceratosaurus, or no, what is it called? Is that right?
Ceratosaurus.
Yeah, Ceratosaurus. Yeah. So this was sent to me by Axie Toys, and I got another opportunity to be a part of their like big promotion push. D Amazing has his video up now. I believe Toy Bro got one and should have a video coming. I think Jay Hernandez might have gotten one. I don't know if he's gonna do a video, but like sometimes it's hit or miss with him. But he'll definitely have he'll have photos and stuff. But yeah, so they're doing that thing where they send them out. I don't know if it's a couple weeks early or about a month early, but these are hitting very soon for the pre-orders and shipping soon. And it's a great figure. I mean, it's the same figure as like their previous ones. Different head, different like the top armor, the outermost armor parts are different weapons and stuff. Paint job is different, but it's a fantastic, it's an awesome figure, and they move really well. It's just a nice quality piece.
And did you, Toy Bro, and D Amazing all get different colors, or is it the same figure?
I know D Amazing got a different color. Yeah, and Toy Bro told me I think he got the white one.
Oh,
and I got the orange one. So yeah, I think we all got different colors there. And there might be one that has different parts too. I'm not totally sure. I haven't been able to like really dig into all the different ones, but there's at least 3 different ones for this release. Because I know one's like more money. One's like 100 or something, and the rest are like 60.
Yeah, this looks really good. I have successfully avoided a lot of the overseas fantasy stuff. I did pick up a wolf mount and the boar mount. I know it's a different company, but I haven't gotten the panda or the tiger or any wolf, any of that stuff. But this one is tempting me.
I like them. And it's fun it's funny because like I talked about this in the review, but like I do like the fun of like mixing and matching. There's tons of little pagan parts and there's like an infinite number of combinations, like literally infinite. There's so many different pieces. And I love playing around with that and switching it up, but you can also kind of take it down. Like some of these are really busy. Like even here, it's getting a little busy. But you can take it down I can't show my cursor here, but like that shoulder armor that has the horns coming out of it, that's 2 parts. So that metal part is on top of a more leathery looking part. And you could take it down to that leathery looking part and have it be a little more like minimal looking and just have a couple spikes coming off there, So it's pretty cool. Like you can kind of go whatever direction you want with these, whether you want to go like fully like over the top crazy, spikes everywhere, or you want to kind of like tone it back.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
and like one thing this photo, you can see it a little bit on the leg, but one thing this photo isn't showing is the back of the figure is much more orange, and it's got like tiger stripe type, like black stripes. You can see them a little bit here, but like when you
see them on the leg just a little bit.
Yeah, it's very cool.
How tall is that?
7.5 inches.
Okay.
Did you want to add something, Nikki?
Oh, I said, yeah, I definitely saw the color in your video. That came through nicely. It is tricky. I think painting like fish or reptilian characters, because in real life, they're usually pretty bland or plain on their dorsal surface. So when you're interpreting that into a toy, you kind of have to balance realism versus fantasy. Yeah. So you can see some of that design and pattern from the front. It's tricky.
Nice size dino. Yeah, it's a good size. Like, put this 7.5-inch big muscular dino next to some 6 to 7-inch figures, and it feels right. You know, it just kind of feels.
Yeah,
like
it's
the
going
right
to
size.
scale with whatever. That looks really good.
And then let's see what's next here. Oh, speaking of dinosaurs, Dilophosaurus, is that right?
Yes.
What is this?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah,
And
creative.
this is Creative Beast.
Yeah.
Wow.
They do amazing work.
And this is a recent reveal of a paint master or a paint sample or something, right?
I'm definitely not in the loop with their release schedule, but yeah, this is something that they're working on for a future release.
Looks like about a 40-year-old Masters of the Universe cup in the background there.
Yeah. Don't drink out of that.
I can't believe it's still in one piece.
I see Minotaur the duck back there too.
Yeah. The mythic birds. It's fun looking in the backgrounds of people's pictures. Little window into their life. I've actually avoided this line. I think that most recent Kickstarter is the one that's going to get me. I didn't back it, but I will probably get that saber-toothed tiger
right
at some point. And what do we got here, Nikki?
Yeah, so this is Valiverse Series 5, I believe. And they just showed their paint masters for this wave. And this character is one of the more fantastical characters, as Articulated Ninja would say, which I like. I do like the line, for modern military, but sometimes it's nice just to have something kind of out there. And this character originally was named Buddha, but got renamed to Senchi, I believe. Mm-hmm. And so I'm really excited for this character. There's some really cool samurai elements built into not only his bio and his story, but also his loadout.
New base too, right? Or have we seen this base yet? This is new.
Yeah, I think so far all of the bases have been that diamond plate, and so I think this is the first naturalistic base that we've seen.
That's cool. Yeah, those head sculpts I think are the highlight here for sure. Very cool stuff. And then this dropped yesterday. We're gonna try to. Larry, did you say 9:45?
Yeah, I got about 15 more minutes. I'm good.
Okay, cool. So the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Everybody was begging for them to either reissue the original set or do it maybe do it like the same, but just do the red bandanas to make it like the comic. And then I don't know, I feel like this surprised the heck out of me, like for them to go and be like, okay, let's do cartoon,
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
A lot of people like not very happy with the way these look. I think they look pretty cool.
They look to me that the bodies, obviously on the cartoon, all the bodies were the same animation template. So I like that it's a little different here, but the faces look cartoony. And I'm sure because you've got so many different licensees out there doing so many different versions of these guys, there probably were some guidelines that it couldn't look. I'm sure they had some guardrails that they had to stay within. So I would be more likely to get these than any animated version, just because I like how different the bodies are.
Right. I'm surprised they didn't it's all new heads, right? Like they didn't reuse any of the heads from the first set, which, they could have just painted some of those cartoon colors, right? But these are all new. I will say that this does not come with any of the cloth good parts. So this feels like a lesser set in terms of like what you get in the box. It's still, you get a lot though, but for $400, you want as much as you can possibly get. I know it's like, it's 4 $100 figures. That's pretty standard Mezco stuff, but it's a big chunk of change all at once. Especially
not planned for. It's just like a surprise drop.
Boom. Here you go. You got, and you never know. I mean, up until this point, every exclusive over the last 6 months has sold out in like minutes. Thankfully, this, for people who wanted it, this lasted overnight or whatever. But these, I think all of these came with the original set. Those like wedge blades did not. I don't think we saw those in the original set. Obviously, like the nunchucks, the standard. Whoops, what's going on here? The standard weapons. I think all of this stuff, different numbers. Like there might have been only like 3 of the throwing stars or something. Like I think the numbers are a little bit different, but like it's everything besides those hand blades were in the other set. But and then these are a little bit different. Like the other set had the actual like the projectiles were attached to the effects, and they were like a little bit different shapes and stuff. And these are just like one solid color, and then you got a few more. Like I feel like this has more of the effects than the other set. You get the blade effects. You get a whole pizza this time in a box, but you don't get any of the cloth goods. So it's like, it kind of feels like it's missing some of that specialness that first set had for me. Luckily, I do have that first set, so this was not something I was going to get.
And what cloth goods did the original set come with?
There's a trench coat. There's like just a hoodie type jacket for Mikey. Geez, I'm trying to think of what else it came with. Let's pull it up. Hold on 1 second. Let's go to Mezco. Turtles. Share this tab. So here's that original set. And so that's one.
Oh, okay.
So the hooded cloak there. That's the sort of the street hoodie kind of thing I was mentioning.
Gotcha.
I loved those. I thought those were awesome.
Yeah. Trench coat and so it's got sort of 2 different. It's got that one as like a hooded cloak, and then that one is a hooded cloak, right?
Yeah.
And then all this gear, like the Walkman and the little computer thing.
So a lot more value with that first set, it looks like.
I think so. There's the like the effect pieces that came with the first set. They're very different. So that's something that gives it a uniqueness, right? Like those effect pieces are definitely unique for each set.
So I'm curious with the turtle stuff. So I bought, Bill, you talked me into buying or you went on and on about how great it was. I ended up getting that the box set from Target of the Mirage. Have either of you or anyone in the chat has anyone bought or have you heard any feedback on those Best Action versions? Because there's a black and white set of 4 from Best Action. They're done in grayscale, and except the masks. The masks are in color. They look really, really cool. And I'm thinking about buying those, but I don't know anything about that brand.
I've heard good things. Okay. Nikki, have you heard anything about that line?
I have not.
I bought a Casey Jones from that line, but I haven't gotten around to opening it yet.
Yeah, I've heard some pretty good things. So maybe somebody in the chat will chime in.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if someone says anything.
How many Sky Sleds did you buy, Larry?
Do you know I didn't? Dude, I told you I'm running out of room. Like this room in here, my bookshelf behind me, I'm going to have to clear some of this stuff off because like the trophy wall over here is full and I'm running out of room in the collection room. So I'm going to move my Mondo stuff in here. So I've got to clear. I figured out how much real estate I need here. So I'm going to make some room on this thing behind me and move the Mondo master stuff in here because that Sky Sled, it's enormous, dude. It's as big as Battle Cat or Panther. It's humongous.
This picture is very deceiving because
it does not do credit.
The amount of space that this picture required to just like set up with everything in there is enormous. They do when they do the pre-sale, they show the person with like a human with the silhouette of the product. Yeah, I have that in here.
Okay, yeah. So look at this thing. It's enormous.
It's like when they did Battle Cat and it looked like she was holding like a
Oh,
large house
The,
cat.
An
the
actual
battle
cat.
cat, yeah, it's the size of our dog. It's ridiculous. I remember when that thing came and my wife was home when it came. I was at work and the box was just and she was just excited about it as I was. She loves it. Well, she's the one who started me down this rabbit hole. Thank you,
That's
Bill.
right.
This one's Bill's fault, Nikki. But anyway, yeah. So the amount of room that this collection, but it's beautiful, and every piece that they put out, like you can just look at that original He-Man and Skeletor, and look at the most recent ones that came out, and you can see the incredible improvements that they've made, and they're trying to do everything that they can, that line for the fans. They had Trap Jaw, then they did a Filmation Trap Jaw, and then they just had a pre-order go up for the mini comic Trap Jaw, the green one. So they're doing, that Beastman was, I mean, you saw how big that thing was. It's a beautiful line. It's incredible. I'd love to have a whole fleet of those things, but until I get a surgical position, I'm not going to be able to afford a house big enough for another collection room. Got to stick with what we have for a while.
Yeah. But $400. I mean, do you think that's a steep price? I feel like that's really high.
I feel like it's really high because looking at, obviously there's a lot of sculpting there, and I cannot imagine that that's very solid. It's obviously going to be a hollow piece of plastic. I'm sure it's heavy duty because those figures in and of themselves are fairly chunky, so it has to be durable. If it had the exchangeable head, like you remember, I can't remember if it was Classics or Origins, they had the two different heads. They had the good head and the evil head that you could use for that. If they had something like that in there, they've got the two He-Man portraits. I can't imagine that those things were $75 to $100 a piece to fabricate. Honest to goodness, for just a chunk of plastic with, granted, there's a lot of sculpting on here. There's a lot of paint. I'd pay $200. I might pay $250 for it, but no way would I pay $400 for that. And I'm not scared to spend money.
When Battle Cat is $500,
yeah,
this seems high. $400 seems high.
It does. I mean, Battle Cat's got like 20 some points of articulation, multiple heads. The amount of plastic, it's heavy. I mean, the piece itself weighs several pounds.
Here's a good question. Does it light up? I don't think so.
I don't think there are any electronics in it. That's another thing. If there were like some type of an electronic on that exhaust where it would light up that flame effect, then I could see that. Curtis said it exactly right. Battle Cat was $100 more, huge multiple heads, fully articulated. And I forgot about the not exactly a slug, but the cringer that it came with. I feel like they outkicked. They're over their skis on this one.
By the way, going back to those loyal subjects, Blake said he says they're cool. He has that 4-pack. He will sell it to you.
Let me reach out to you. We'll talk about it because I may pull those in. I'm debating.
Yeah.
All
right, Transformers, Larry. You got 5
already
minutes
pre-ordered.
to walk us through all this.
All right, Studio Series 86. More goodness from the movie. Steeljaw. They just re-released Blaster in more movie-accurate color, so this is going to be a great companion piece to that. If I'm not mistaken, it was either Rewind or Eject that came with Blaster. They did the re-release is going to be more traditional colors rather than the clear plastic. So Steeljaw is going to fit in perfectly. I hope let's see, it was Ramhorn was the other one that was in the movie. So I'm hoping I feel like they'll probably get to that one eventually, and they'll get
was
to
that a Rhino?
Yes. And then they had another humanoid, whichever one they did, Rewind or Eject, there's another one. So I would anticipate we'll see those. This looks awesome. It's cool. It's as movie accurate as you can make it for that size of figure. I mean, the thing's going to be this big.
Yeah.
So, but I've already pre-ordered that.
Yeah. And obviously the cassette's weird looking, but like to get a cassette shape to fit into the cassette holder, that comes out to be a lion like that is pretty cool.
And the thing, and again, I keep going back to what a great job Takara is doing with the design on this retail line. This should not exist. This should not, and it's beautiful, wonderful thing. So the amount of engineering and the care that they're putting into these things just is really, really impressive to me.
We might be on a little delay here. Curtis with the $5 super chat, $400 for this guy said, better be a drone that flies around my figures.
If it did that, I would buy one.
Torture your pets with that drone.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we got
finally, we finally get a movie accurate Springer. Again, I've already pre-ordered this. This looks great. More movie accurate. I don't think, obviously the color palette's going to be different than what we saw on the War for Cybertron version. That's kind of been a placeholder in my collection, just like the Ultra Magnus was till we got our Studio series. So this is another one. They're just going through, they're giving us everything from the movie as movie accurate as it can be. And I'll keep pulling them in as long as they keep making them. And they've done a really great job on the triple changers. They just had Sandstorm was in the last wave. It was the leader size that was released. And what a great job they did on that. So they're just hitting home run after home run.
Yeah. I missed all these. They sold out really fast. Like I think they'll be available, but like I don't.
They will be, but yeah, they went up pretty quick. I was doing an educational lunch in one of my offices the other day, and I came out and had 4 different emails, so I was able to jump on. Now I had clarified earlier that Soundwave in your 3-pack was from the Netflix series. It was the mold that only Walmart had that no one can get. Similarly, this Bumblebee is from that Netflix. It's the mold from the Netflix. I don't know if there's some small remolds, but this is very similar to what was in that Walmart that no one could get for the longest time. So this has kind of been repurposed. There may be some retooling in here. I'm not 100% certain, but again, a much more movie accurate Bumblebee, and I'll be tickled to get this. I'll be really excited for this.
I have the Cybertronian one. So like of these 3, like this one, it's like, I have that, in, like up on my shelf. So I don't need this one as much. I like it because, it's more accurate, but like, I definitely want to get those other 2 as like.
I had been using the Cybertronian one on my movie shelf, but now that I have all 3 of the Cybertronian versions of those originals, then I'm going to display these, in their alt modes.
Yeah,
so I'll be really glad to get this one.
Yeah. And then just 2 more. So we talked about Optimus, and now they put up Bumblebee.
2 more missing links.
And Cliff Jumper.
Yep. I'm looking for. It's like I told you, Bill, whenever I got this thing out of the package, I said, whatever they do in this line, I'm going to pick up. I will be a completist on this. These are, and I said this before we started recording. So any Masters of the Universe Origins fans that are on here, I owe you a big apology because I have done nothing but talk about how god awful those things were. Why in the world do you want an old sculpt with new articulation when you've got so many great things in the classics and the Masterverse, and then we get this masterpiece? And I get it. I completely get it. Everything that they do, and I love, like you said, Bill. I put this on the shelf right next to my original G1 Prime. It's got die cast in all the same places, the vac metallized, the rubber wheels. Yeah. It's so authentic. And then they improve so many things. You don't have detachable fists. We've got a matrix. We have all the incredible articulation. He has a freaking ab crunch. Come on. So I'm really looking forward to them continuing this line.
Is there a way to twist him at the waist?
Or there is not, unfortunately. There's no twist at the waist, and there's no way there's no swivel on the hips. I wish that there were.
Yeah. Still though, it's really cool. I mean, if you just put it in a straight pose, right? Like you just put everything straight, it looks exactly like the original. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
he really does.
And then to have all that, articulation, and it just feels nice. It's got that heavy die cast feel to it. It's got that shiny vac metal. You've got the ankles that can rock, and you can do like wider stances and stuff. It's really neat. It's just it just hits both things. It hits that like nostalgia bug, and then it hits that like desire for a nice modern premium thing.
Let's see. Doak asked, what is my opinion on the Lewin Resources Prime? I've looked at that on Show Z store. I'm not it's awfully expensive. So I imagine it's super articulated. I don't really know that much about it. I don't know much about that company, so I cannot speak with any with any type of authority on it, other than to say it looks really, really doggone good. That's really all I can give you. The Hasbro has so many licenses out now. They've got the MDLX and the MDX stuff from 3.0, and then we've got all the cool YOLO Park stuff coming, and that stuff's just, the YOLO Park is unbelievable. Like, I love their stuff so much. So it's a good time to be a collector.
Sweet. All right, Larry, you gonna bounce?
I'm gonna bounce. Guys, have a great night. I have an early day tomorrow.
You too, Larry.
Nikki, great to have you on here. I enjoyed it. I had not dug and did a deep dive into your page yet, and I've been doing that while we're on here, and really, really incredible work. You should be very proud of yourself. It's really cool looking stuff. So
thank you, and thanks for having me on. Absolutely.
So you guys have a great night, and we will see you next week.
And I'll get a shirt out to you very soon, Larry.
All right. I'll de-sleeve it, and I will wear it to the gym and on the show.
Nice.
We'll see you guys.
Sweet.
Good night.
Bye. All right, let's do the giveaway. So we got 41 entries. So quick reminder, I guess I pulled the thing down and forgot to put it back up. Quick reminder. If you would like to win, and I'll pull the image up again. If you would like a DORKLAIR t-shirt, you'd be one of the first to have a DORKLAIR t-shirt right here. For those of you who might not have been there when we announced it, put "It's David Williams" in the chat. David Williams designed this shirt, and Dave Orkin printed the shirts, and yeah, so we have them now. And again, if you want to purchase one of these, shoot me an email at podcast@dorklair.com. I am going to be probably holding that off till next week to like kind of go through all that, but sort of a first come, first serve basis. Just let me know if you're interested, and then I'll get those going. I do need to get like a way to ship them. Like, I don't want to ship them in boxes. I gotta like get some like, soft bags or whatever to ship t-shirts. I've never sold t-shirts before. So, yep. So it's David Williams in the chat. And we'll spin this in just a couple seconds here. We are up to 53. Yeah, okay. People are getting in there now. Let's see who else is new. Mobius Joe. Hulk Smash Toys. KJ Smith. I'm not sure if KJ was here earlier. Warp Frenzy. Slick. Or no, Slink. Let's see here. Oh, Slink was talking about the Hero Toys Demon Killer. I'm not sure which one that is. Jordan's here. All right. Oh, wait, Eric's here. And Brick. I'm just trying to find people who we didn't mention earlier who showed up later.
I was telling Bill before the show started that the shirt really reminded me. I unearthed my original Dungeons and Dragons coloring book a little while back, and there's some really cool dungeon maps in the back, and that's what that reminds me of.
Yeah, it was just like, it was one of those things where I was thinking about those kind of like, like metal, like metal band logos where you can kind of sort of read it, and it can kind of sort of not read it. And then it was like, like what would be a cool thing for DORKLAIR for that? And like a lair, like a dungeon. And then it just kind of like formed in my head. And it was really one of those things that I feel like it would be tough to figure out how to do, but David he really just yanked it right out of my head. Like, it's just perfect. And it's just the right amount of like, you can see it, but like it takes a second, and like maybe somebody who isn't familiar with the DORKLAIR might not even be able to see what it says, kind of thing, little insider thing. So yeah, it came out great. All right, 57. I feel like we've slowed back down again, so I'm gonna pull that banner down. Usually, Nikki, what happens is I spin it, and then I forget to pull the banner down, and the banner sits there for another 10
Oh
minutes
no.
and people start adding it and I'm like, I'm an asshole. All right, let me pull it down. All right, here we go. 58 entries. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Good luck. Let's see who wins. Captain Chaos. Nice. Congratulations, Captain Chaos. So send me an email to podcast@dorklair.com with your size, and I will send you that shirt out. It'll probably go out next week. Like I said, I got a busy weekend ahead of me. My daughter's got a bunch of events. I'm going to the Shop the Curiosity toy show, which is an awesome toy show. It's got like a bunch of it's just got the weird stuff, when you go to like a toy show or a Comic-Con, like you want to see the weird stuff, and this has it. Like I want to shop for some elf stuff, and I'll find it there. I know I will. All right, let's go back here and then jump back to Transformers. Okay, what's next? Oh, this is the last one. So they're really like, I don't want to say completing it because the minute I say that, they'll stop making them or something. But like they are making their way through the Mark armors. Like they did the Mark III, the Mark VI. I think those were two of the most recent ones, and now we got the Mark IV. The Mark IV looks a lot like the Mark III in my opinion, but they are definitely different. And so this is one of those lines that like is one of my big guilty pleasures. It's a very expensive line, but it's engineered so well. I love these figures so much.
I did have a previous obsession with collecting all the Iron Man armors that, gosh, I forget what the company's name now, but they did die cast versions in 12th scale and then also the SHF versions. They worked together.
Oh, it was Comic Cave?
Yes, Comic Cave.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I loved those figures.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had everything that came out from SHF and Comic Cave. And just at one point I just lost interest and sold all the Marvel stuff I had, all the DC stuff I had. But I do miss it a bit. This is a nice figure. Yeah.
And it's like, for me, it's good because I don't really collect MCU. And this is a weird scale. It says 1/12 scale, but these are 7 inches. Like these are a solid 7. So it's like, you can't just buy these and mix them in with your Marvel Legends or your figure arts, or like this is its own scale. Like there's nothing really that's going to mix with it. I guess like I do have my Mezco Iron Man sort of together with those. They're not MCU, but like they're kind of like in the same size a bit. And they're also die cast, and they feel definitely different feel, but like they kind of have that similar premium die cast quality. But so I do really love this line. I don't have every single one of them, but I have most of them, and they are
about how many awesome. Have they done so far?
Geez, I mean, I want to say 12-ish.
Oh wow, okay. So it's a good thing I stopped collecting them before this line came out.
Well, yeah, I mean, you wouldn't even have been able, like, it would have been like these wouldn't have gone with the ones you had because they're so much bigger. This would have been a whole new different thing. They have a Hulk Buster. Actually, the box of it is like right over my shoulder right here because I have nowhere else to put it.
Oh, wow.
But I have the figure down. I'm looking that way because all of my Iron Mans are in the bottom of this DTOF over here. They've done the War Machine the first War Machine they did, and then they did the Iron Patriot, and they've done Mark III. This is 4, 6, 7. 7's my favorite. I love the Mark 7. And then they've done the 46, the 50, and the 85 maybe. And now they're also they did a Black Panther, and they did a Spider-Man, like an Iron Spider figure, which those I held off on. I didn't get those, just kind of sticking with the Iron Man armors. But yeah, it's a sweet line.
It looks great. And you said they're die cast?
They are like a very high percentage die cast, and like the articulation is insane. Like when I say, like when you see this, like that's a mild pose for these figures. Like they
Awesome.
can do those hips drop down, and it's a very weird thing. Like they're very stiff and tight,
Hmm.
um, but like it's a totally different experience when you're posing one of these things. Um, but like the hips drop way down, and you can kick the leg super far out. The shoulders have butterfly joints. Like there's a ton of crazy hidden articulation just throughout these. It's wild. It's really cool.
Yeah, one of the weak points I'd say of the Comic Cave line was that there were still a lot of components that were plastic, and that the die cast just weighed so much that it made those were definite like literal weak points of the figure because it wouldn't
Right.
support the weight. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it
A
was a
lot
little
of the
tricky.
joints are metal on this.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Like a flap will be like a plastic piece,
Hmm.
but like most of the internal mechanism and joints and everything, it's all metal.
Very cool.
Same with Blake. Yeah, Blake's the same with me. I'm only doing the Iron Mans by 3-0. They're literally mini Hot Toys. Yeah, and that was the thing. Like I always wanted a Hot Toys Iron Man. It was one of those like it was like, oh man, I would love to get one of those, but it's just they're so expensive. They're so big. It's just like this huge commitment, and it's like this is like a little toned down version of that, and they do kind of have that feel. Um,
Very
but
cool.
yeah, that'll do it. Let's check the chat here.
Awesome.
Metal.
There used to be a channel, and this was years ago, but he had a huge collection of just Hot Toys Iron Man armor,
I think I
and he
remember
had
that guy.
a really nice setup. I think he was in Hong Kong, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Which is beautiful setup, and he stopped putting out content at some point. But yeah, really, really cool collection.
Yeah. There's this other guy who has this crazy Hot Toys collection, and he posts like on Facebook reels. Are they reels on Facebook? He posts on there, and it's just like it's just sort of mind blowing to see that kind of dedication. Like I'm all over the place, Like I
Yeah.
maybe the closest thing I'm with is like Legions, But like
Mhm.
even that, it's like just to have that dedication to just have that one thing, just Hot
Mhm.
Toys, and that's the only thing, and it's just like this, like you kind of put all your effort and your energy and your sort of like
Mhm.
posing and everything into that. It's a really cool thing to see when people do that.
I kind of wish I could do that, but I get interested in something different like every 3 months. So
Same.
I rotate out my shelves, and it's just like this weird thing that it's
Mm-hmm.
in my brain that I need to do.
Same here. It's just I'm a kid in a candy shop. I'm just like, oh, that, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So here's a question for you: what upcoming projects are you working on that you can talk about that
Ugh,
you're excited about, if there's
I
anything?
can't talk about anything, but there's such cool
Nothing.
stuff coming. I literally just mailed away a project that I'm working on, that I was working on, and it was the most challenging thing that I've done so far. I will tell you more when I can, but it was definitely the most time consuming and like technically challenging project that I've done. I can go into it
Nice.
more.
Pushing
Um,
yourself. That's good.
yeah, and all that's the thing with these professional jobs is like all of it is a significant challenge because customizing is great. It's super fun and I can do whatever I want, but this is more you have to think about, can these paint jobs be reproduced by a factory? What methods is the factory going to be using, and incorporating those methods? And then if there's any further direction from the company of what they want, then you can't just do whatever you want. Like Eric said last week, Savage Crucible, we had a lot of creative freedom. And some of the things that I've done have that also, but some are very, very rigid. And here's a color render, and this is what we want you to reproduce. So kind of all over the map there. But let's see. I'm trying to think if I have any custom stuff that I'm working on right now. I ordered some heads recently from Noble Bear that I'm excited about. There's some new armored dwarf heads. And yeah, I've got a lot of unpainted stuff sitting back there in my hobby closet that I'm excited to get to eventually. Finishing out that Aztec figure that you showed earlier. I am excited about that. Yeah, I think that's all I got right now that I can talk
We got
about.
another question. I actually missed this earlier. I think sometimes what happens is I have another screen on top and I miss the super chats. But here we have Rob Zamora with a $5 super chat for Nikki. If you started your own toy line, what kind of line would it be? And who would be on your dream team, painter, sculptor, etc.?
Oh, man.
That's a big question. It's a lot.
Well, I'll preface this by saying I'm definitely not interested in starting my own toy line. I definitely am enjoying what I'm doing now. And I think between customizing and then having some creative input with some of the lines that I've worked on is satisfying enough for me. But I would say it would definitely be in the realm of the fantasy genre. I really like it would be very elemental focused. So I really like, I'm a WoW player, so I really like the shaman archetype. And in WoW, the shaman archetype is an elementalist. And so that's something that I would probably focus on, is elemental magic and that kind of thing. Obviously a lot of anthropomorphic characters, but I need more time to think about exactly what would set that slice of fantasy apart from what's already out there.
Right.
But there's so much room for, creativity and imagination in the fantasy genre. So
yeah,
really anything goes.
I like that idea of elemental.
Yeah.
Any team, like how would you look, any team members you would have, like a dream team or anything?
I am not going to go into names because if I forget somebody, I will feel terrible. So I'm not going to go there with names.
There you go. All right. Some World of Warcraft inspired Nikki figures would be amazing.
I'm actually excited because they just released a new thing that they're doing. They're going to have the ability to level in an old expansion all the way up to top level, and it just dropped today. So I'm really excited about that.
Totem Gang Gang, is that a
there you go.
Reference? Yeah.
Yeah, the shaman use totems. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nice. The Purple Gang Gang always has the references. They're hip to all of it. I'm not hip to World of Warcraft personally. Just something I've never played. And Curtis with the $5 super chat. Nikki, how much influence does your day job have on the figures you are doing with Savage Crucible?
Quite a lot. Most of my career I've worked with reptiles and amphibians. And so it influenced a lot of my customs, but definitely with Savage Crucible, with the reptilians and the fish in particular, a lot of influence. Yeah. Yeah. And it was really cool to merge those two worlds together for sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Curtis, for the $5 super chat. And 78 points. Speaking of Savage Crucible, congratulations on the Savage Crucible stuff, Nikki.
Awesome.
We should probably pull up his thing, which is
he's done some amazing dios.
Yeah, let's go. Hold on, I gotta share this. There it is. The Savage Ruins. That's pretty sweet. Now sold out, but we can appreciate.
Very nice.
All these little separate pieces over here.
Yeah, it has been a long time since I've bought a diorama, and this is great. Yeah.
It's beautiful. I do have the street scene turtle set, the Mirage turtle set. It's beautiful. It's so nice. I don't have it set up right now, but it's awesome. And there's the base. Yeah, nice work.
Very nice.
Oh, the runes are in there? Wait, hold up.
Oh, cool. From the
Oh,
decoder.
there they are. Yeah, yeah. They're,
Very
by the
cool.
way, Rob was very specific in saying they're not runes. It's a numbering system, something like that.
From ancient monks.
And I kept calling them runes, and it's like, nope, they're
Yeah.
numbers essentially.
Yeah, they're on the cards too in the corner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's go there. Hold on, let me.
There's so much to look at on these things, I swear.
Yeah.
And the packaging.
Do this. Yeah, you want to throw that card up there?
Oh, yep. Hang on one second. Let me pick a cool one. Okay. Well, they're all cool. This is
are they not? Oh, you got a foil. Nice.
a foil for the potion that Nin comes with. Ancestral tea.
And the runes on the cards are numbered, so it's 1 through 15. So if you were to use the decoder and set it up, we did this like a couple weeks ago, where it's like you can, they are numbered for those who are collecting those cards. And I do have a checklist if anybody's interested in that. Let me know. It's pretty straightforward. 15 card set. You can get a non-foil or a foil. The foils are going to be super hard. I think it'll be pretty easy to collect the non-foils. But the foils are going to be really tough because right now I've been tracking polls. It's about 1 in every 8 packs. So 1 of every 8 card that hits a collection is foil. So if you were an all-in is 8 figures. So you're talking 15 all-ins to just get 15 foils. And then you have to trade to like get to the specific ones you want. So
right.
like it's going to be tough.
I have to decide. I think I need to decide kind of early if I want to seek the foils or not.
Yeah.
But I discovered today. So I was trying to figure. I was doing a little bit of trading myself, and I was trying to figure out the best way to ship these things. I tried today the bubble mailer with some rigid foam on the inside to kind of protect bending. And that costs just as much as sending a small box. So from here on out, I'm just going to send them in a small box. Yeah. It's like $5.85-ish to send that. So
once you get past, So I've shipped cards and I've shipped a lot of stuff, and it's pretty much that's how it is. Padded envelopes, it's not much. So, a lot of times we have random boxes laying around, so it's just
exactly
to be
like small Amazon boxes or something.
Yeah. Yep. Thomas, I cracked open Nin last night and it's excellent. Haven't opened any others yet, but the paintwork and sculpts are amazing. And that's one of yours, right?
Yes. Yeah, I did. I didn't do the armor for him, but I did the body and the potion, the ancestral tea that I just showed. And that was really fun. I don't normally like painting weapons and accessories, but this one was just extra fun. I really got into it.
Nice. A comic book mailer. Yeah, that would be good too. Right? They've kind of folded. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Those comic book mailers. But again, it's like if you have a random box laying around, it's like it's there.
Yeah, exactly.
Put them inside 2 birthday cards.
That's a good idea. I like that.
Not a bad idea.
It would be cheaper.
Old ones, like your old birthday cards that somebody gave you, and, when you don't want to throw them out.
Man.
I don't want to throw it out, but I'll mail it to somebody else with a card inside.
I like the way you think.
I'm trying to get this Joe comment here. What the heck? I don't collect cards, but can never have too many monsters for D&D. There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Joe's doing. I can't join it, but he's doing a. I think it's going to be like opposite Mondays of the lounge episodes. He's running a campaign.
Sweet.
That's pretty cool. Joe, I wish I could join that, but I can't commit to like another thing right now. And TJ says, friendly reminder to hit that thumbs up in case you forget. I appreciate that. And also leave a comment afterwards, and we're gonna wrap this up. So, maybe leave a comment. Let's see, what can we have for a final comment today? Transformers or Ninja Turtles? Transformers versus Ninja Turtles. What is your pick? Transformers or Ninja Turtles? Leave that comment. Not in the chat, not right now in the live chat, but when the show ends, go to the comments of the video, and it'll help the video, and it'll help get a little traction after the fact with the replay. Transformers or Ninja Turtles? Put it in there. Let us know. Explain your answer. Let us know why. Most likely, it's probably like age, but yeah. So, Nikki, thank you again for coming on and sharing your art with us. Very much appreciated. So do you want to share anything you got going on before we go?
Oh man. Yes. Going to be
are you going to be on that live stream coming up? Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Going to be on Comic Palooza next week in Texas, in Houston. That'll be my first time in Texas, so I'm excited to add another state to my list. And then the live stream coming up for Savage Crucible is this Sunday. I will not be on that. I have some other things going on, but yeah, there's going to be some information coming out with that stream, answering a lot of recent questions and things like that.
And there was also a huge shipping update about 4 or 5 days ago that people should probably take a look at if they haven't yet. It's got
definitely head to, if you're a Kickstarter backer, head to the Kickstarter to see that latest update in the update section. And then if you did a pre-order or pre-sale, on the very front page of the website, it gives exactly when to expect those to ship out, because it's going to obviously be after backers and all of that. So.
Awesome. Follow Nikki, Nikki Nikole _customs on Instagram. The Nicole has a K, for those who are wondering. And thank you again for coming on. And
thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, and thank you to all of the. We still got almost 100 people here. Thank you for everybody for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Very much appreciated. Thank you for all the super chats and the memberships and all that stuff. And until next time, may the force be with you.